Back to Coondogs Outdoor Adventures. I winded down my trip, my Labor Day camping trip. Just put my stuff away piece by piece, and of course the last day it's a beautiful day, but I had a good time the whole time, whether it was raining or not. But this morning I had my devotion time, and the peace is just awesome. How you unwind, work through things in your life and stuff when there's isn't any distractions around. To me, those are the greatest rewards. Just not being distracted and experiencing the presence of God. That's, to me, is the greatest rewards. So, Camping 301, Wilderness Camping, Part 1. Get used to having a compass. As I said before, in Camping 101, 201, get used to a compass in an area where you're not going to get, if you get lost, it's going to be a pain. It's not going to be life-threatening. Practice doing a compass in triangles. You know, go to a certain landmark, turn around, come back to another landmark, come around, or go straight in and out, or you know, go to a certain direction, change direction to a certain landmark. Get used to it so you're very comfortable. Having a GPS can be very important when you're doing canoeing. Say you're out on a decent sized lake and fog rolls in. You're not going to know where the heck you are. Or if there's low visibility, you can't see the terrain around you, you're out there canoeing. The GPS is the best thing to navigate through areas like that. Now, cell phones, of course, if you're out of cell phone range, your compass isn't going to work on your cell phone. That has direction stuff according to the cell tower triangulations or whatever. So your compass on your phone, and when the battery dies, it'll be no good. So it's good to bring both a GPS and a compass. Most of all, always bring a compass and be comfortable with using that compass. Just a few experiences I had with some people and observed some people. One time I was up camping with my sons, and we were way in, and we were camping our first night. We canoed way in. We set up camp and then went out and to do some fishing. And we noticed as it was getting later in the day, we noticed there was a couple out there, and we thought they were exploring with their kayak. And the man and the lady come back, and the lady's panic stricken. She says, and the husband's trying to act all, you know, I don't need directions type of attitude. But they were in serious trouble. They just went out for the day, and daylight was burning, and they had no clue how to get out of there. We saw them go around the lake. We didn't know what they were doing. They're trying to find their way out. So I told them the way out, and I didn't know if they're going to make it or not. I could have followed them and made sure they found the way out. Then it would have been dark, and I wouldn't have been by my camp, and I could have got myself in danger. So I showed them the way out as best I could, and they had to find their way out themselves. So there they were in a wilderness. They were not prepared. They didn't have extra stuff for to spend a night. And it was just a situation you want to avoid. And another lake we were at one time, this family came, they packed up their stuff, they got their kids together, they went out and they put all their stuff in the canoe at dark, and they were going to try and find one of those designated campsites. Now in New York, the designated campsites, a little dinky marker. They're very hard to see even during the day. If you have a map, very hard to find. You have to canoe along the shore and look very carefully. And they went out at night on a lake, on a big lake, to try and find a campsite. It's just dumb. Here he was endangering his family, his children, going out in the middle of the night, trying to find that spot. It's just always be prepared. You know, if you get there and it's dark, spend the night in the parking lot before you venture out. Don't try and hurry to try and get to the campsite and put yourself in danger. There's another time I was winter mountain climbing. The snow was so deep it covered the trail markers. We got off trail, as I mentioned before, and always bringing another day or two supply of food. If you're out canoeing out in the wilderness somewhere, and say the weather gets up, there's whitecaps out there, you can't get back. The weather, or you just high driving rain or maybe thunderstorms that has to delay your trip for a day. Don't rush to try and get back to work. Your life is more important than trying to get back to your job. They don't understand. They may not understand, but your life is more important. Don't try and rush it. Don't try and push it. Your life is more important than those things. So wait it out. Wait the storm out. Have extra days of food with you if you can. And make sure you get out safely. Now, things that can happen when you get in a wilderness situation, or even in Camping 101 and 201. In Camping 301, it can get more serious. Panic can come in. You can feel overwhelmed, tremendous amounts of fear. You can be overwhelmed, and just a normal mistake or a normal accident or injury can be life-threatening. So you need to be prepared. The best thing to have is experience. You have the 101 and 201 training. You've been out there already, or you're with an experienced people, not someone that says they're experienced, someone who is experienced. That's the one thing that lacks today, is experience with wilderness camping and wilderness exploring and stuff. There's very few people that have experience in it, and try and find someone to go with, it's very difficult. And a lot of time, because the people tap out really easy, they're not willing to take people out to the wilderness. But I got started on my own, but also in college, people went out for the outdoor activities club and so on. But experience and be prepared. Bring extra clothes that aren't going to get wet if your canoe dumps. If you get too much rain, you have extra clothes in there. You fall in a creek or something, you have extra dry clothes. Even in the summer, where I live in the north, up in the North Mountains, even in the southern tier, you can get snow any time of the year. About 10 years ago, it snowed in Watkins Glen where the races are. They had 2 inches of snow 4th of July weekend. It snowed every month that year. And up in the mountains, I've been up there where a storm came in to be 80 degrees one day and the next morning be 38 degrees. Or be days on end it's in the 50s and nights in the low 40s. And it could snow any time of the year. So you need to be prepared with warm clothes, extra dry clothes. Just be prepared. Band-aids, medical stuff. Be prepared for anything that can happen. So we'll end this 301 Introduction to Wilderness, Part 1, and we'll talk to you later.